Has Notre Dame found their quarterback? Kenny Minchey has signed with the Irish in the early signing period, and we're going to be looking at the number 12 quarterback overall in 247 composite today. We're going to be looking at some film, some highlights, some strengths and weaknesses, and what does his outlook look like for Notre Dame? So let's dive into it. All right, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you guys tuning in. So we're going to be diving into Notre Dame today and their quarterback situation, what it looks like. And we're going to be looking at a guy that I know that Christian Williams likes, and I've kind of looked at, and he's really grown on me, and that's Kenny Minchey. You know, the young quarterback out of Tennessee, Hendersonville, Tennessee. He came in at 247, I think he was composite number 12 in the country. He had offers really, Houston, Marshall, Eastern Kentucky, Pittsburgh was on him, and Pittsburgh was kind of like the leading candidate to maybe get him. But then he goes to Notre Dame. And so we're going to look at kind of what he's done and go overall, just like what do we expect from this young quarterback and what does it look like? So we're going to look at his high school, stats and where it comes from. And again, remember, high school stats are one of those things. It's just hard. Like what we have is what we have from the numbers, and this is what he had, right? So, when you look at his sophomore year in 2020, obviously the COVID year, so, you're going to have less reps there. 85 134, 62% completion percentage, 1,000 yards. Then he started his full year his junior year. So when you're looking at his junior year, he led them to an 8-5 record down there. He played in 3A, so he made it to the state semifinals there. 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. You see the completion percentage where it's at. So he got his reps mostly there. And then his senior year, he was injured. So when you're looking at just the reps he did, he had 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,000 yards, but he was limited due to that injury, right? So when we're thinking of like what it was, you're looking at completion percentage, everything there, you see improvements. So you only thing you could do is project like, hey, what is that going forward? What does that look like? So for me, when you're looking at this and we're talking about it overall, like, hey, projection wise, it looked like he was going to get improvement. We just don't see it right there. But those are his overall stats. When you're looking at his rushing stats and everything there, I mean, you don't see a lot of rushing yards. And so one thing that you're going to talk about, like his junior year when we could really dominate, like understand what his rushing numbers were. He played the whole season. He had 52 carries, 137 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So we're not going to see that. We're going to talk about that there. So let's talk about what he does well. And I think one of the things that really stands out to me already about him is mechanics. Like it's effortless, man. I love watching him just kind of set his feet. He gets those hips around. He delivers a great ball. Like his release is legitimate. Like his mechanics excite me because there's things about him that you can already tell that whoever's been coaching him somewhere has been coaching him up to have that good mechanics. Like under pressure, you see that as well. Like there's little things about him that he steps up, has really natural instincts. And those are the types of things that you can't really coach, right? Those are just have it or don't. He has that. I think his off-script stuff. So we're going to watch him kind of get outside the pocket. I think he has okay athleticism outside the pocket. It's nothing amazing, but when he gets off script, man, there's some things that he does really well. He's kind of a natural athlete out there, and he can throw, and he uses his mechanics to get the ball where he needs to go. He gets it to the numbers, gets it to the sideline. Like a lot of it, like he is very ready to play. Like one thing I think, I know Christian highlighted him when we talked about our Patreon episode is like, man, he might be able to just step in and go because of just his mechanics. Like when you're looking at the mechanics overall, like we talked about Dante Moore earlier, like I think Minchey has like some of the best mechanics of the top 15 quarterbacks in this class. Like just looking at what he's able to do, he's ready to go. Now, the other thing too, like his release, you're going to see that it's going to be quick, capable, getting there, all those type of things. Some things that he definitely needs to work on. So we're looking at things that like, hey, we want to see. I think reps is the big one. So I think the question mark is going to always be with Notre Dame right now for this coming in this offseason is who's going to be that starter? Is it going to be Tyler Bunchner? Quarterback from San Diego. Obviously, hey, he just hasn't had that run. We've seen his issues. Tyler has had his issues there. Are they going to bring in someone from the transfer portal? So I'm going to highlight some names later. So stay on the episode. But will they go there? Will he get reps this year, or is he going to have to wait again? So I think that's the question mark. He hasn't had all those reps. You saw he's limited because of his injury. He did those type of things. Like those are the question marks there, right? Now, strength. I think that one thing he's got to do is get a little bit stronger. Like it is upper body, and also you'll see that he'll take some shots, do those things. Lower body there. Like I don't mind his size though. His size is nice. size, 6'1", 215-ish, whatever the case may be. I think he's going to have to definitely get in that weight program, get a little bit stronger, looking forward to what he's doing in terms of that strength area there. And I think that's going to help out I don't necessarily want to say that he doesn't have the arm strength to it, because he does. He has that arm ability to release the mechanics there. But if he gets stronger, I think he's going to improve his arm strength, and that's just going to help his profile. Now, rushing too, like, that's not going to be really a big strong suit of his game. You saw that. Now, he's got a limited track experience. Like, he does some stuff there, but he's not a track guy. He's not a dual threat guy. He has athleticism enough to get outside the pocket and makes it. So that's off-platform stuff that we like. But I don't see the total package there in terms of like rushing upside. Now, if we're gonna watch this tape though, let's dive into it. Let's watch a little bit. So you're gonna see fluid and just mechanics, right? You're gonna see that right there on the first throw. Steps up, does. He was really good stepping up in the pocket. You'll see it here. Boom, boom. Everything is mechanical with him, man. And this is a great throw. Like, that's a legitimate throw in the corner end zone. And you just notice it. Just stop it, notice it. Everything's same. 3-step drop, drops back, gets his feet set, comes around, gets his shoulder square. Like, look at this. Like, these are the little things that, like, I love this throw. This throw is a lot of fun for me to watch when I was kind of going into it. You'll notice it about him. Okay, he sets his feet, good, gets his feet set, knows where he's going to go with the pocket or the ball, right inside the pocket, boom, to the outside. Like, those are the things that like really stand out about Minchey to me. Like, that really separates him here. Good fake here, gets that defender moving right on the money. There was not a lot of throws. Now, obviously, we're watching his hudl tape. We look at his highlights, those things. I broke down other tape too. I was going through it. There's not a lot of bad throws. Like, when you watch him play, like, he got considerably better when he stays in the pocket and he has a clean pocket. I do think it helps that if he has a clean pocket. So we're thinking of offensive line or those type of things. Like, he's going to need that. Gets it over the shoulder, those things. Like, he does that really well. But again, you'll notice it every single time. Same rep. And then him dropping it in on the dime right there. Like, you'll notice that about his mechanics. He steps up, he gets his feet set. Even when right there, when he had to back up a little bit, he still got his set. There's not a lot of like, oh my gosh, off platform throws where he's kind of winging it with his arm strength. Like, he uses his whole body, which excites me because we talked about it. If he gets stronger, then he can develop that and push it down the field. Now we're talking about a legitimate quarterback here. Get him through here. There's a guy that he reminds you of, and I'm terrible at comps, but real quick, I want to show you guys this. Now, he does have that rushing upside, right? I'll give you that comp in a second. I'll hit that like button while we're waiting. But he has that rushing upside. You saw that here. You're going to see him kind of sneaking in. He's got that kind of frame. He does that thing. So I do want to show you that. Like, I'm worried about it overall, but he has that ability to kind of do it, right? So it's not like he's a statue back there. We're not talking about, Harrison Bailey from old Tennessee recruit, those type of things. But again, gets it to his guys. He has a couple throws here that I would definitely want to highlight before I get into what I think he's going to be for his comp. But again, that quick release right there, he fits it in between the safety and the corners too. Like, those are the type of things that also stood out to me. He gets it over the middle. You'll see it here, getting it over that linebacker. Like, he has the ball placement too to get it over guys and really separate it right there. And again, look at the competition level. I think it was okay. Like, obviously make a better tackle there. But there are little things that you'd like to see from him. He has that angle. Just look at that. Able to get it over the defender there. Like, and then again, off platform here. Good throw off platform. Like, this is one of his best throws on his tape. Gets it out there, over across your body. And again, you'll see here. I think he reads really well. So he's reading the defense here, gets it through, and he goes across. Like, those are the type of things that he does really well as a passer. Like, there's not a lot of things that I don't like about him. I think he's a legitimate passer. I think he's a great quarterback. Notre Dame, you guys got a great one. Notre Dame fans should be excited about him. Now, a couple things. Let's talk about outlook. So, first things first, my comp for him right now, like, just based on watching him, I know the arm talent's not going to be there. They talked about Sam Ellinger on 247 Sports. For me, it's Byron Leftwich a little bit. Now, again, I know righty, all those things, but I think, watching him play, his size, he's probably like, just looking at like him throw the ball, like, it kind of excites me because he's going to get that strength in there. And I see that right now when we're looking at what it projects for, what's our outlook here. So when you're looking at the depth chart, Tyler Bunkner, however you want to say it there, he is not done. He's not performed. He's going to play in the bowl game though, it sounds like. So if he does well, maybe they'll bring him back, but he does not look good in terms of what they wanted to do. Steven Angeli's there. He was a freshman coming in. Obviously I profiled him last year talking about this, but he's not ready for that yet. He's not ready to step in there. And I think the biggest question mark is, do they go to the portal? So here are the guys that are still out there. Brennan Armstrong, Sam Hartman hasn't necessarily. So Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, I think that's the rumor out there. Covers your podcast talked about it. Maybe they get Hartman there. Brennan Armstrong from Virginia is out there still. Spencer Sanders doesn't seem like a fit. Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina, did they go that route, right? So when you're thinking of like quarterbacks that are still left, there's not a lot of quarterbacks still left. Like, there's not a lot of guys out there that we're talking about could make maybe an impact. So if we don't see a quarterback get picked up in that portal, could Minchey have to come in and compete for that starting job right away? I think he might. I think Hartman is really the guy that they really want. And just based on rumors and everything there, I think Hartman could be that guy that they say, hey, that we're going to wait on him. They just played his bowl game. Hey, he's going to be that. So keep an eye on Hartman. Maybe Armstrong. Maybe does he fit that system, right? So Minchey could come in and be ready to go. And I think that's exciting because, when you're watching him and you're watching him on tape, I think he's fundamentally there. Now, he probably needs a year. He needs to develop a little bit, but I don't think Notre Dame would be awful, considering who they had, what that offense looked like this last year. I think Minchey could step in and actually be serviceable as a quarterback and maybe get you guys to 10 wins, right? That's kind of what you're looking for. So I appreciate you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate all the support we've been getting on this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. So hit that like, subscribe button. We're going to have a giveaway when we get to 2,000 subs. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, I'll see you guys later.